So today we're going to be looking at the best private student loan refinance companies. And the first one on this list is going to be with a company called SoFi. And here are some of the features and benefits that you get with SoFi. They are free to refinance, so it doesn't actually cost you anything to go through this process. There are no early payment penalties, which is great if you want to pay off your student loans even faster. It does require a $5,000 minimum. Autopay discounts do apply as well too. They do have an unemployment protection, so if you do end up losing a job, you can actually have some forbearance on there as well. And then one little downside here to mention is you can't actually remove a cosigner. So if you have somebody helping you with getting this private loan refinance, just something to keep in mind that they won't be able to come off of the loan itself. And then you can see right over here, they do need a credit score of 650 or higher to be able to go through this process and refinance with them. And then the nice thing is there is also a $300 bonus for refinancing with SoFi using the link in the show notes down below, which I'll have for them as well as all the other companies we're going to be talking about here as well. One other little side note for SoFi is if you are refinancing medical student loans, you can actually get up to $1,000 bonus for going through SoFi themselves. So again, make sure you check out those links down below if you want to see which promotions they currently have available. Now, next up is going to be with a company called Earnest. Now, Earnest has also the ability to refinance your student loans entirely for free, which is so great. You're not costing anything more than just your time to go through this process. You can see here they also have no early payment penalty. That's a huge deal for me because I love the idea of being able to pay your student loans down faster. You can also adjust payment dates. So if you have certain dates that work better for you or things change in your life, to be able to change that date, that is also available. And there is also bi-weekly auto pay. So this is going to help you not only pay down your student loans at a more reasonable cost, but this will also help you pay it down even faster as student loans actually get charged on a daily basis for interest. So doing the bi-weekly payment can actually save you quite a bit. Now, one of my favorite features with Earnest is the fact that they actually analyze beyond just your credit score. So instead of just looking at the credit score and making a determination on whether you can actually refinance with them to get a lower interest rate, they do look at other factors that can help make sure that you get a loan that works for you and potentially even saves you hundreds if not thousands of dollars with refinancing. Now, another really great feature is you can combine multiple loans. So if you have multiple private student loans and you want to get them all into one, you can do that with Earnest. Now, another feature that they have available too is that you can actually skip one payment a year. Now, obviously this will actually go on the back end of your loan, so you're not getting anything done faster when it comes to the loan, but you can skip it for any, necessary reasons, whether it's to pay other bills or to cover any emergencies that come up. You can actually do that one skip payment a year. And again, it'll tack onto the back end of your overall loan. Now, they also do have a disability and death benefit, which some other companies, when it comes to private student loans, do not offer. But they do this so that way if something unfortunately happens to you, your family is not going to be held liable and required to pay off that loan. And just like with SoFi, there is going to be a sign up bonus using the link in the show notes down below. This one is going to be about a $100 bonus for going through this free process of refinancing your loans. And heck, you can even use that money to pay down your loan faster or use it for anything else that you would like. Now, next up is going to be with a company called Splash. And right over here, you can see just like the other two, this is going to be free to refinance. And again, this is really nice and a great feature for a lot of people and a lot shorter barrier to entry when it comes to being able to go through and refinance those loans. Now, there's also no early payment penalty. I always see that as a really big deal, so that way you can get rid of those student loans as fast as possible. There is going to be a $5,000 minimum on here, and this is going to be great for medical loans. So if you want to go through this process, they do work a lot with medical students. And then you can see here, you can actually remove a cosigner, unlike one of the other ones we talked about earlier. So if you get somebody to help you refinance your student loans with Splash and later you want to remove them, as long as you qualify, you can get them removed off of there. Now, Splash will require around a 650 credit score or higher. So just something to keep in mind when it comes to that process. And then a really cool thing too is if you just want to get an idea of getting a lower interest rate from your private student loans, you can do a soft pull credit check without actually affecting your overall credit report. So that way you can actually see if you qualify. So next up on this list is going to be with LendKey. And just like the rest of them, it is free to refinance and there is no early payment penalty. Those are big on my list when it comes to recommending any kind of student loan refinance. You can see right over here, there is going to be a $5,000 minimum to be able to go ahead and go through the refinancing process. It is also going to be great for medical student loans, and you can also remove a cosigner with this company as well. Just like the previous company, it is going to be a 650 credit score or higher in order to go through this process. And the really nice thing with LendKey as well too, they do have a forbearance of up to 18 months. Of course, this is going to be based off of your circumstances, but you can have a position where if something happens in your life, you can go ahead and get up to 18 months covered where you do not have to pay any payments towards your student loans. Of course, those payments will be tacked on the back end of your loan. And you can check potential interest rates without going through and getting a hard credit pull, which can help determine if you can lower your interest rates and save thousands of dollars on your student loans. So I'll have a link to LendKey and all the other companies we talked about here today in the show notes down below for you. And like I mentioned earlier, some of these will have a nice sign up bonus, but all of these will take you to the pages that you need to check out those rates and see if you can actually lower your private student loans. And while you're going through that process, make sure you also check your credit score so you can see where you land on to be able to help increase your chances to lower those interest rates. So check out my video right over here on screen to keep on learning.